We are 9 months and roughly 6 months removed from the iPhone 14 Pro Max and the Galaxy S23 Ultra respectively. Honestly, these phones have aged gracefully in a number of different ways, but there are certain things that you guys should know about if you're looking at buying these phones half a year and almost a year later after their release. We'll delve into lifestyle use, everyday practical use, certain nuanced things. If you're new here, my name is Dave and I do tech. And also, if you were pregnant at the time of the iPhone 14 Pro Max's release, congratulations on your baby. Or your iPhone 14 Pro Max. Now, in the interest of saving you guys time, things that have not changed at all and are just as remarkable as the first day that I cracked these out of their boxes are the screens. The screens on both of these devices are absolutely remarkable, and I don't think I really have to spend a lot of time harping on them. I will say that much like my initial review of these devices, I do think that the S23 Ultra does have a crisper, more pleasing to the eye display than the iPhone 14 Pro Max, but it's not because the iPhone 14 Pro Max has a bad display. It's things are larger, more crisp and detailed, and because of the thinner bezels, just a tad bit more immersive here on the S23 Ultra. But no matter which phone you're getting, even today, you're getting a remarkable experience edge to edge, with perhaps the exception of the pill cutout on the 14 Pro Max, but I would say subjectively, that's honestly gonna depend on if that's something that bothers you. I'd prefer to not be there, but it doesn't diminish my overall experience and enjoyment of using the screen. Another thing that has aged with immense grace on both of these phones, even after several updates on both of them, is the battery life. These are both phones that at the beginning of my workday, waking up 7, 8 o'clock in the morning, all the way up until I'm kind of like cooling down from the day, doing miscellaneous tasks, gaming, browsing, I'm working on paperwork, seeing clients. I would argue of all the phones that I've used over this last year, they're both the most reliable day in and day out for getting me through everything that I need to take care of. Both phones are absolute battery champions and are going to get you through the entire day. Now, if you're looking to go outside, touch some grass or some leaves, and are worried that maybe these won't be bright enough to use outdoors, both phones get exceptionally bright in outdoor situations and are very, very easily usable. Now, something that's taken an exceptional leap forward since the last time I reviewed both of these devices are the cameras, but primarily so for the S23 Ultra. One of the biggest knocks I had was that shutter lag was something that is still apparent on such an absolutely powerful device that handles 99% of everything else exceptionally well. Well, with the most recent update, that's no longer a problem here. Before, there was a workaround with Good Luck where it would sort of fix the shutter lag with additional software, which is super weird. But Samsung has implemented it directly into the camera application, and now you can fire away with as fast as your thumbs can tap the button on both of these phones, and the pictures are going to come out in sync with what you're tapping. I will say, in general everyday usage, most people are probably not going to notice that the S23 Ultra actually takes better, more detailed pictures with more information packed into them than the iPhone 14 Pro Max. And that's not a knock at all on the iPhone 14 Pro Max, because this does take remarkable pictures and video, and I would actually give the video nod to the iPhone 14 Pro Max over the S23 Ultra. But for pictures alone, because of the additional optical zoom that you have on the S23 Ultra, and because of the additional megapixels, which are not just a big number, but if you're nitpicking and really digging into the images, you see the difference in detail. 8K 24 on the S23 Ultra looks amazing, and they pack so much detail into the video. But if you're looking at, say, like 4K 60, 4K 30 on both of these, there's just something about the way the iPhone captures video that just looks a bit better, if I'm being honest. Now, if we're looking at both of these phones in terms of actual usage in the hand, both phones have boxier frames, and to this day, I think that still works perfectly well in both of their favors. They're both very comfortable to hold. I do prefer, on average, on a day-to-day basis, the feel of the S23 Ultra in the hand, not only because it's a slightly thinner device, but also because there's just a number of different one-hand usable, accessible features that make one-hand usage just a bit easier and more accessible on this device. The iPhone 14 Pro Max does have that one-hand pull-down mode, which I think works perfectly fine in basically every use case. But there are just more options that are conducive to one-hand usage on the S23 Ultra, and so if you're looking for a bit more doors to you in that way, the S23 Ultra definitely has it covered there. If you're enjoying the video so far, I want to stay up to date with other tech content I have coming here to the channel and other tech reviews like the Nothing Phone 2, which is coming very soon. Hitting the subscribe button is the best way to stay up to date. Thumbs up goes a long way to helping me out here on the channel. If you're feeling the iPhone 14 Pro Max more at this point, give me an Apple emoji. Duh. And if you're feeling the Galaxy more, give me like that Galaxy emoji with the sparkly stars, or if not, like that crystal ball emoji, or if not, banana. Now what's great about both of these devices is that no matter which one you pick up on a day-to-day basis, no matter what application you're going into, you're getting a smooth, well-rounded experience. And for me in my work life as a therapist, that's important because I use and rely on phones and tablets to kind of like be a complementary life companion for my everyday work lifestyle. So for example, PDF is an application that's better than Adobe Acrobat for one, because you can actually purchase it outright and don't have to rely on a subscription service month after month or year after year. And it allows me to interact with my session notes, my client paperwork, edit, annotate, mark them up, highlight different portions of those files. It's usable from iPhone to my Galaxy, to my MacBook, to my iPad. You can add shapes, signatures, boxes, stickers, diagrams. I'm able to start on either phone on the go. And then when I get home and want to upload it to my iPad or MacBook, it's already there in the cloud for me to interact with. And UPDF has integrated AI features, so for those of you who are in college, much like I was a year ago, you can have it break down, summarize, journal and research articles. You can have it break it down into chapters and explain or translate different text, which is really, really helpful. I'll have a link in the description down below for you guys if you want to check out UPDF. It is super handy, and on both of these phones, if you're looking to use them as life companion machines, you can do that. And that's something that I think shouldn't be understated. They've done an exceptional job here in terms of overall feel of user experience. Animations are smooth. There are little details over on like the iPhone side of things that really make it feel like a cohesive package similar to Pixel devices if you're coming from the Android ecosystem. And Samsung's come a long way in refining and making their user experience more accessible, friendly to use, and look and feel good. On both of these over these last few months, you experience bugs and glitches and hiccups, which is something that's going to be more surprising, not so much so for any Android phone, but more so that you're experiencing that on an iPhone, given that that's kind of like usually one of their big selling points is that it's refined, it's pristine, and you're not going to have any problems. Well, you do have some problems. Sometimes widgets disappear, sometimes when you're going to sift back and forth between apps, you'll get a little bit of a hang up. Something just happened to me today where I was moving an app from one of my home screens to another one of the home screens, and I would move it over to the side and it would just hitch and kind of like move the windows back and forth, but not completely to go over to the other window. That doesn't happen all the time though. That doesn't happen super often. And honestly, on the S23 Ultra, this is a fantastic experience day in and day out, 95% of the time as well. But you are going to get some imperfections on both of these devices in little ways. Nothing game breaking, nothing that makes me go, oh my god, like these are completely unusable. But if you are shelling out the money for these, just know that occasionally you're gonna get a little something here and a little something there. Alright guys, so obviously on a day-to-day basis, the way that I use the speaker systems on these phones are, say for example, if I'm in the kitchen making food or washing dishes, I can have this on the windowsill or on the kitchen counter. Or say for example, if I am taking a shower, listening to say a psych podcast to stay on top of my work field, I can have this on the bathroom sink outside of the shower, and I hear both perfectly fine. They're both really great speakers. However, the one that I would say is the better speaker system on average day in and day out is definitely going to be the iPhone 14 Pro Max speakers. I would just say on a day-to-day basis, the speakers in the 14 Pro Max are just louder, bassier. There's more detail in like the high and mid ranges, though honestly, no matter which phone you go with, you're getting a very good speaker system at the bare minimum. Now I'm gonna get out of this position because my right knee hurts and my right cheek hurts, and this is very uncomfortable. Enjoy the rest of your video. Gaming on both of these devices is still an immensely immersive and enjoyable experience. You can hit maximum everything on every single game that you want to play on both of these, and you're going to get a perfect, stable FPS throughout. I will say, on the iPhone 14 Pro Max, you can hit that 120 frames per second mark and maxed out everything on, say, Genshin Impact, for example, which always seems to be the benchmark for these things, but it is a demanding game that really does push the limits of mobile devices like these, where on the S23 Ultra, there is no 120 frames per second option, but you can run everything and maximum everything, and it's going to be immensely smooth, enjoyable, and you're not really going to have a problem. Both of these devices will get warm to sort of hot with a game like that. On Honkai Star Rail, you can run both of these things at maximum everything, zero problems, punishing Grey Raven. Yeah, long and short, no matter what you throw at either of these, you're not going to have a problem. And if you have completely forgotten everything that I just talked about and you're looking for like a too long, didn't pay attention to TLDPA, the long and short of it is that no matter which one of these phones you're getting even several months later, with some hiccups and bugs here and there, you're getting an exceptional phone experience on both. You're getting great cameras, you're getting great battery, you're getting great gaming performance. I'm a huge gamer, so I'm a big fan of that. And overall, you're getting like a good bang for your buck, money's worth. I personally would prefer the S23 Ultra and do prefer the S23 Ultra just because it does more things. You can multitask better on this than you can on the iPhone 14 Pro Max. That's just kind of a fact. But regardless which one you're shelling out like $1,000 for, you're getting an awesome device. Thank you guys so much again for stopping by and hanging out. I wish you a fantastic remainder of your day, afternoon, or night, depending on the time it is you're watching this. And as always, peace, love, and adios. Bye guys, and have a great day.